Hello students, we are here with yet another revision video of BCR, Business Correspondence and Reporting. A video has already been uploaded of active passive and direct indirect, grammar and vocabulary. Two of these things that are most feared about English language. Always remember that English is not just a subject, it's a language. It will take time. You have to give time to this language to make sure you get a grip over it. Now this time we have vocabulary. After direct, indirect and active, passive, there is this another topic that is going to be asked for, if you can say, around 2 to 5 marks. Yes, direct, indirect, active, passive, around 6 to 8 marks and 2 to 5 marks for this. So it holds considerable amount of weightage in the overall paper. So we have to be sure about this. And when we talk about vocabulary, we have synonyms and antonyms, idioms and phrasal verbs. Remember, these are not something you can cram. रट नहीं सकते हम ये. All those students who are good at English, all those students who are in regular habit of reading, all those students who are in regular speaking of this language will find this particular part very easy, because believe me, those words are asked which are used in day-to-day language and not very difficult words. In fact, the words that are usually asked, you will see those words while watching a news channel or while reading a newspaper. In general, these words are used in day-to-day life. So we are going to revise few of the words, few of the idioms and few of phrasal verbs as well. So let's start with synonym and antonym. Yes, there are certain ways to remember words. The first and the most important is to use it. Now if you read a new word and you look at the meaning, after looking at the meaning, it's not necessary you are going to remember it for lifetime. Yes, you have to use that word repeatedly. You have to make sure that that word comes in your vocabulary in day-to-day life. In that way, we are going to remember that word. There is no other way. Yes, there are certain ways you can group certain words. You can use certain words in a sentences. We have already talked about it during our session. ग्रुप बनाओ वर्ड्स के, रूट वर्ड के थ्रू याद कर सकते हैं, सेंटेंसेस में याद कर सकते हैं. दीज आर सर्टेन वेज वी कैन रिमेंबर, बट आफ्टर दिस द मेन थिंग इज टू यूज. नो मैटर कोई भी नुस्खा हम लगा लें, नो मैटर व्हाट मेथड यू कम अप विथ, यू हैव टू यूज, एंड इफ यू डोंट यूज इट यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू नो अबाउट इट. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इडियम्स, मानो हम कहते हैं ओल्ड इज गोल्ड, अ फ्रेंड इन नीड इज अ फ्रेंड इन डीड. हमें आता है ये सब. कैसे? बिकॉज वी यूज इट इन डे टू डे लाइफ. सो इट्स जस्ट अ सिंपल थिंग यू हैव टू यूज. फ्रेजल वर्ब, लाइक वी से लुक आफ्टर द चाइल्ड, मतलब उसका ध्यान रखना, नॉट लुकिंग लाइक दिस, लुक आफ्टर द चाइल्ड. तो ये फ्रेजल वर्ब हमने सुना है, वी आर अवेयर ऑफ इट. That is why we know what this means. But if you have not read certain phrasal verbs, it's very difficult to remember. It's very difficult to recall as well. So we'll start with synonym part. This is what you're going to get in the exam in MCQ form. So this is what it is. So let's say a particular word will be given. You will have 4 options as well, as you can see here: argue, hate, discover, reveal. Detest means to hate. Detest means to hate. Again, as I have already said, you are going to remember the words only if you use it. I detest this particular place or movie. Then we have pensive. So usually we say he is in a pensive mood. He is in a pensive mood. So what does it represent? Thoughtful. Pensive, thoughtful. Then we have gracious. Gracious movement. Gracious occasion. It's an adjective. इसी तरह सेंटेंस में यूज करके हम याद कर सकते हैं. Pleasant. Something which is pleasing to eyes. pleasant, gracious movement. Then we have kin, which means near and dear ones. So kin is relative. Kin here is relative. Banish. The king faced banishment. The king faced banishment. So this sentence clearly says that if you are aware, if you have the habit of reading, if you have the habit of listening in English, certainly, and if you have gone through this particular word in your life, it's easy to remember. So banish is exile, nikal dena kisi ko, exile. We have saccharine, saccharine, which means sweet, sweet. He is in a jovial mood. I am in a jovial mood today, which means merry, happy, in a happy mood, merry. Now let's look at this particular word, temerity. That is the noun form of temerarious. Temerarious, noun form of temerarious is temerity. Temerity is boldness. Boldness is the noun form of bold. We don't have boldness here, but another word for boldness is audacity. The adjective for which is audacious. It was an audacious shot, very bold, to play in such a way. Audacious shot. Audacity, that is the synonym of temerity. Then we have charisma. Charisma of a particular person, that is charm. Charisma, charm of a particular person, charm. Stand upright. So upright is straight. So certainly it will not be horizontal. Supine, horizontal, supine, they are the opposite of upright. Humble. So upright is standing upright, and also he is upright in all his works, very honorable. So another meaning of upright is honorable. Synonym. I am wary about what is going to happen. Now this is not V-E-R-Y. There is a word V-E-R-Y, V-A-R-Y and W-A-R-Y. V-E-R-Y, very, we all know, very good. V-A-R-Y, very means to differ, but very, W-A-R-Y, is cautious, cautious, the D one. We use this word sumptuous meal, very exquisite, expensive, delicious. Buffet can be sumptuous. So we have here luxurious, sumptuous, we can use for buffet, expensive, luxurious. Inscrutable, that cannot be scrutinized. Inscrutable, जिसकी scrutiny नहीं कर सकते, that cannot be scrutinized, means mysterious. Inscrutable, mysterious. Then we have, it was a very appalling spectacle. बहुत भयानक व्यू था. Appalling spectacle. One meaning is horrifying and dismay. So we have C, dismay. Reverie. You can use this in a sentence easily. He woke out, he came out of his reverie by this sound. So reverie is daydream. So reverie, C, daydream. Then we have the one who talks very much. You can even use this particular word for any of your friend or any of your relative, any of your cousin, जिसको हम usually बातूनी कहते हैं, बहुत बकबक करता है. Loquacious is talkative. Now we have certain antonyms, and yes, this is how vocabulary will be asked. Now when these vocabulary words are asked, you have to be very sure whether they want the option in closest in meaning or farthest in meaning. Closest in meaning will be synonym, farthest in meaning will be an antonym. So you have to be sure to look at this very particular detail to make sure 1 mark is pocketed easily. Awe means surprise, wonder. The meaning of it is surprise. He was taken by awe, surprise, wonder. But the opposite of is contempt, disgust. Contempt is disgust. Remember, now we are on to antonym. Contempt, disgust. So first one is D. Luminous, bright. Luminous means bright, but we are talking about antonym. So this is dim, dim. Then we have lowest point, pit. Pit is lowest point. Nadir, N-A-D-I-R. That is another word for this, lowest point. But we are looking for antonym. So antonym will be highest point, highest point. Zenith, peak. So here pit, peak. Rotund, which means round, fat. But antonym thin, thin. Brazen, it's very bold. Brazen, bold. Remember, we looked into another word for bold, boldness, temerity, audacious. Here, opposite of that will be shy, which means bashful. Opposite of brazen, shy, bashful. Then we have dearth. Dearth of something means lack. Dearth of noble people, lack. But opposite, abundance means in plenty. Abundance, in plenty. Abate, to go back, recede. Abate, शांत करना, calm करना, abate. Opposite of which will be to provoke, augment, बढ़ाना कोई चीज, provoke करना, बढ़ाना, prolong करना. Augment, abate, augment, opposite. Mal, we talked about this during the class. Mal is a root word which means bad, and we know odor. Odor means smell, so this means bad smell. This is how root words are going to be helpful. Root words will be very helpful in this particular way. Mal, odor, bad smell. Opposite of which, fragrant, which is the adjective form of fragrance, good smell. Expound means to explain clearly. Expound, to explain clearly. Opposite of that will be confuse, to confuse. Pick is irritation, to irritate someone. The opposite of which will be to soothe, calm, pacify. Pacify, soothe, calm, these are synonyms of soothe. To soothe the pain, to ameliorate the pain. Abridge, abridged version of dictionary, abridged version of dictionary. So shorten is the synonym, but antonym extend. Abridge, shorten. Antonym extend. Then we have meager. Meager salary, small amount, which means small amount. Meager salary, meager in a small amount. The opposite of which will be copious, in abundance. Copious means in abundance, plenty. Philistine, someone who is very aggressive, hostile. The opposite of which will be intellectual. We talked about this word peak, zenith. Opposite, pit, nadir, N-A-D-I-R, C. That is the opposite of zenith. Germane, appropriate or relevant. This topic is not germane to the project that we are doing right now, relevant or appropriate. So opposite will be irrelevant. Irrelevant. Improvident. Improvident means rash, reckless, opposite of which will be cautious. Improvident, rash, reckless, opposite cautious. So students, we have tried to make sure to give you few of the words of vocabulary. Yes, these are just few words. In your exam, if you get a particular word which you have already heard about, that will be a bonus, because there are millions of words in the dictionary and you can come across any new word. But the more words you learn every day, the better for you. As many words as you can fill in your vocabulary, it will be good for you. Now we come to idioms. So idioms here, even this will be asked, part of vocabulary. There are innumerable idioms, just like there are innumerable words in vocabulary, there are innumerable idioms. Certainly, if we have heard a particular idiom, it becomes easy for us, and this also will come as an MCQ. A dime a dozen. If we use it in a sentence, this book is a dime a dozen. Very common and of little value. Very common and of little value. So common. Then we have, so if we use this in a sentence, we might have heard this. He was beaten black and blue. He was beaten black and blue. So if we see the option, badly sick, he was beaten, no, badly sick, badly in need of money. So the answer here is badly bruised. Then we have cost an arm, a leg. Can use this with iPhone. iPhone costs an arm, a leg. So is it cheap, hard, soft, used for something that is expensive? iPhone, and that to the latest one. He has a devil may care attitude. Devil may care attitude means very casual and careless. Very casual and careless attitude. Elvis has left the building. Khatam. Over. Done. Elvis has left the building means it's all over. So here, used to say that the show is over and it's time to go home. Elvis has left the building. Something that is feast for the eyes. आँखों के लिए बहुत अच्छा है. A feast to behold. Even this is used. It is a feast to behold. B-E-H-O-L-D. Behold means to see. A feast to behold. बहुत अच्छी चीज जिसको देखने का मन करे. Very beautiful. Then we have to handle something with kid gloves. ऐसे हैंडल करना किसी को जैसे हम बच्चों को हैंडल करते हैं. So not angry, not rudely, but to handle very carefully and skillfully, that is tactfully. To handle someone, बहुत ध्यान से handle करना. And why? Because there is a possibility that the other person is very sensitive. There is a possibility that the thing is very delicate. Then we have hear it on the grapevine. We all know this word. We have talked about this word previously. It is there in communication chapter. Grapevine, which comes under informal communication. Grapevine. Grapevine means through rumors. So, to hear about something very formally, newspapers, no. To hear something through rumors, that is grapevine. In the blink of an eye. पलक झपकते ही वो भाग गया. He ran away in the blink of an eye. In a very short time. In the blink of an eye. In a very short time. Spill the beans. Don't spill the beans. Everyone will get to know. किसी को secret मत बताना. Don't spill the beans. What it says? To reveal something that is supposed to be kept a secret. Then we have keep something at bay means to prevent something to harm you or to prevent something that it may affect you. To prevent someone or something from approaching because it's going to affect you. To keep something at bay. The soldiers kept the other soldiers at bay. It's the last straw. बहुत बुरा हो गया यार, आज बहुत कुछ गलत हुआ, ये आखिरी है यार, अब नहीं. Last straw. Last thing in a series of bad things that happen. Last thing in a series of bad things that happen. तमीज नहीं है, बदतमीज. Not a speck of decency. शर्म लिहाज नहीं है. कितना कुछ बोलते हैं हम हमारी लैंग्वेज में. Rude manners, rude manners, not a speck of not a spark of decency. Pay dearly. Dear means costly. It was dear to me. ऐसे भी हम यूज करते हैं. I have a dear and it is very dear to me. बहुत close है, but it is dear to, very costly. So pay dearly, to pay for something at a high rate, to get something at a high rate. Raise one's eyebrows. Usually हम ऐसे यूज करते हैं सरप्राइज दिखाने के लिए, डिसअप्रूवल दिखाने के लिए. कुछ वी फ्राउन, कुछ अजीब सा लगता है, अजीब सा दिखता है, सरप्राइजिंगली डिसअप्रूव करते हुए, और हम देखते हैं and we raise our eyebrows, show surprise or disapproval. बोलते बोलते suddenly we bite our tongue. बोलते बोलते रुक जाते हैं. So stop yourself from saying something. So it's just as simple as that. कुछ यहाँ पे ऐसे भी idioms थे which we use in day to day life, and certainly if we use in day to day life it will be very easy for us. So to crack vocabulary, we have to be associated with this particular language, that is English. Remember, English is not a subject, it's a language. Take the bull by the horns. जनरल अगर सोचा जाए टेक द बुल बाय द हॉर्न्स तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन है, और डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन को फेस करना. सो टू डील विद द डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन कॉन्फिडेंटली. टू टेक इन मतलब तो एब्जॉर्ब. टेक इन इज अ फ्रेजल वर्ब, विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. To deal with an easy task, no. To hesitate, nahi. To deal with a difficult situation confidently. Take the bull by the horns. अच्छा नहीं लग रहा आज, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, ऐसे बोलते हैं हम यूजुअली. अजीब लग रहा है, अच्छा नहीं फील कर रहा हूं या कर रही हूं. To feel under the weather, I am feeling under the weather means in low spirits. इन लो स्पिरिट्स, कोई रीज़न से मे बी बीमार है या फॉर एनी अदर रीज़न बेचैनी हो रही है, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, इन लो स्पिरिट्स, नॉट इन अ वेरी हाई स्पिरिट्स. तो यूजुअली कोई बर्थडे पार्टी में आता है, बड़ा चुप चुप सा रहता है, अजीब सा रहता है, अपने ही थॉट्स में रहता है. सो वी यूजुअली से इज अंडर द वेदर, इन लो स्पिरिट्स, एंड रीज़न कुड बी मैनी. थ्रो इन द टॉवल. थ्रो इन द टॉवल कभी सुना भी नहीं हो, then also go through the option, make sure you come to the closest option. So to throw in the towel, like to give up, to admit defeat, to admit defeat. Then we have the last in these idioms, mad as a hatter. बोलते हैं ना कई बार, बंदा तो अच्छा है, जीनियस है, बट पागल है थोड़ा, संकी है, अजीब है, अच्छा है, डिग्रीज है बहुत, जीनियस है, कुछ नया करता रहता है, बट संकी है, पागल है. मैड एज अ हैटर. एसेंट्रिक, अनदर वर्ड फॉर स्ट्रेंज, अनदर वर्ड फॉर स्ट्रेंज. एसेंट्रिक, awkward, bizarre. These are certain synonyms for strange. So students, these are certain idioms that we made sure to give you these idioms before your examination so that you can quickly revise These are just few of the idioms out of many idioms that are there. Let's move to phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs, yet another topic under the heading vocabulary. Phrasal verbs. So what are phrasal verbs? There are certain words which are verb, kriya, verb. And with these verbs, if you add a preposition, the meaning changes entirely. For example, when we say put off means to postpone. Put means to keep something. Put, but put off, postpone. Put out यानी बुझा देना, आग बुझाना, extinguish, put out. Look after. So these are certain phrasal verbs and we will look into this again as MCQ. ये भी हम MCQ form में देखेंगे. So let's see certain phrasal verbs and this is how you are going to get in your exams as well. I need to think it dash. I need to think it on, think it in. I need to think it over. सोचना पड़ेगा. Think over it. हम किसी को बोलते हैं think over it. I need to think it over. Hang on a second. रुको. Hang on a second. Hang off, hang in. So this is how you may or may not get sentences of phrasal verbs. It's not necessary. It is going to come in the exam. May come for 1 or 2 mark phrasal verb. Idioms also 1 or 2 marks, but antonym and synonym certainly it's going to be that 2 or 4 marks. I hate it when people cut dash with useless information. Cut out. Cutouts देते हैं ना. Distribute the cutouts. Cutout तो नहीं होगा. Cut on, cut off. No, cut in means to interrupt. I hate it when people interrupt with useless information. Cut in, interrupt. जो promise to drop out, मतलब जो ने बोला कि वो कॉलेज ड्रॉप आउट करेगा. जो promise to drop by means visit. So जो promise to drop by, visit. I don't get down, to go down, get out. No, I don't get on well with Sarah. मतलब हमारी जमती नहीं है. We don't get along well, which means this phrasal verb. We will look dash those figures for you. Look out. So we say look out. Won't suit here. Look down. We will look over those figures, just like think it over. We will look over those figures for you. Then we have I am completely cleared up. I am completely grown up. So I am going to bed. No. I am completely brought up, raised. I am completely exhausted, worn out. I am completely worn out. So I am going to bed, exhausted. You need to take in. Take in means absorb. You need to take in the information, not just listen to it. Don't just listen, understand, take in. Hand in is a phrasal verb which we usually use. Hand in means to submit. Hand in. Hand over means to give. Hand in your assignments. So here it will be taken. Then we have limbing dash the reward as she did not want to be greedy. So limbing turn down means did not accept. Turn down the offer. Turn down the offer, did not accept. Now we talked about this word when we started with phrasal verb. Remember put off? All these were done in the class as well. So the more you revise, the better for you. Put off means to postpone. Put up, I am going to put up in this hotel tonight. No, put away the fire. Put out means to extinguish. The firefighter is trying to put out. As the shoplifter was still a young child, he was let in. He was let in. No. Let out. Let out means to create a passage for exit. No. He was let off. छोड़ दिया. He was allowed to go. Let out. As the shoplifter was still a young child, he was let out. Due to the bad weather, the competition is. We have talked about this phrasal verb twice. The competition is put off, means postpone. Put off, postpone. She needs to take a while to dash the cold. Get along the cold. साथ साथ में जाना है cold के? नहीं. She needs to take a while to get on the cold? No. She needs to take a while to get over the cold, to get rid of something. We usually say get over it. भूल जाओ, आगे बढ़ो. Get over the cold. It's hard to dash the message dash to young people. It's hard to bring the message up to young. Bring up? No. It's hard to do the message. It's hard to get the message through to young people. मुश्किल है उनको समझाना. To make sure the message reaches them correctly. So it's hard to get the message through to young people. Then we have, we dash at a small hotel for the night. We have talked about this as well. We put on at a hotel, put down, put back, put up means to stay. Put up at a small hotel for the night. So this is what we have. This is your BCR lecturer Varun Bhatia from CA Foundation and revision of vocabulary, which includes synonym and antonyms, idioms and phrasal verbs. Remember, these are just few of the phrasal verbs, few of the idioms and few of the words that we could get you through. We could make sure you go through this, but then there are thousands, there are millions. And in your exam, if you get a phrasal verb, idiom or vocabulary that you have already heard, that will be a bonus. But then we have to keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you very much.